Alright, hey everyone, we are back. So yeah, it has been 6 months now since Black Ops Cold War has been released. The game has definitely had its ups and downs throughout that 6 month period, and considering that we are now at the midpoint for this Call of Duty, I find it right that we make another video discussing the state of Cold War zombies at this very moment, and as well as the future of the game mode. Right before we get started, I just want to thank everyone who has been watching the channel recently. It's definitely been fun to be back uploading a ton of videos again. And if you still enjoy what you're seeing, I would really appreciate it if you guys would subscribe to the channel, if you haven't already, of course, after watching this video. Because a ton of brainstorming, researching, and editing has gone into this video, and I really wanted to get out there on YouTube and flourish and get views and get some some traction, because I'm very passionate about zombies. I've been playing zombies for 10 years now, and I just want my opinions and my feelings to get out there, and I think you guys would enjoy that. I honestly don't know where to start because there's just so much to talk about. I mean, Treyarch has given us the most immense amount of content we've ever had for a Call of Duty, and the fact is that there's still way more content to come for the second half of Cold War's life cycle, which is super exciting. So yeah, let's take you back 6 months ago, to be exact. November 13th, the day that Black Ops Cold War released. Black Ops 4 Zombies had put the zombies community at the lowest point it had ever been at, and Cold War was our one hope to revive the zombies community. So on November the 13th, 2020, we got the first map for Cold War in Maschine. Right off the bat, in my opinion, Maschine was a very good map, and I think Cold War had a very successful launch. I know that I had a really fun time playing Cold War that first week it came out, and it absolutely crushed the launch of Black Ops 4, because as we all know, the launch of Black Ops 4 Zombies was nothing short of a disaster. Now, the only odd thing about the launch of Cold War Zombies was that we only got a single map in Maschine. In all previous titles, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, and Black Ops 3, we got multiple maps at launch. And of course for Black Ops 4 Zombies, we got the most amount of content we've ever had for zombies. But the game itself at launch was so broken and glitchy that it completely overshadowed the amount of content we got, and all you could think about was, when am I going to get a blue screen? Now, in terms of stability, Cold War absolutely hit it out of the park on launch. Way better than Black Ops 4. Now, of course, there were a few blue screens or crashes here and there on Maschine, but it was not as much. There was definitely not as much crashes and blue screens that there were in Black Ops 4. And unlike Black Ops 4, in Cold War, all the bugs and stuff that we had at launch were actually addressed right away. And if you remember, in Black Ops 4, it was weeks before blue screens were fully fixed, and maybe like a month or two before blue screens were completely gone. And it took a while for Treyarch to actually listen to the community, and for Cold War, they listened to the community right away, and I gotta respect Treyarch for listening this time. So the launch of Maschine was great and all, but of course it didn't last that long, and within 2 to 3 weeks, Maschine was getting a little bit stale because it was the only zombies map that you could play. Now, there were a few updates here and there to zombies. We had a little Christmas update where they added a game mode to Maschine, but it wasn't that much. It wasn't all that. But just when people couldn't even stand to keep playing Maschine, I was definitely one of those people. I had to take a break from playing zombies. Like, I was just completely bored of playing Maschine. But once that boredom started to get really bad, our first DLC map, Firebase Z, comes out. Oh man, Firebase Z, I mean, God, I love Firebase Z. It's easily in my top 10. What a great map. And Firebase Z was so good because Firebase Z took all the new mechanics and new, systems that we saw in Maschine and made them work even better on Firebase Z. I like to put it this way. Die Maschine was the experiment map which showcased all the new mechanics and new systems because the BO4 mechanics and systems were terrible, so they had to start from scratch again. So they had to, experiment with all these new systems and mechanics in Cold War Zombies. So Die Maschine was the map that introduced all this new stuff, but Firebase Z was the map that perfected everything. And I gotta tell you, man, Treyarch threw it out of the park with this map. And like I said, it's easily one of my favorites. Top 10 for sure. It's not too hard, but it's also not too easy. Oh man, what a great map. So just like Die Maschine, a couple weeks goes by with Firebase Z, and just as it's getting a little bit stale, we get word that a new open world zombies mode that we've always wanted is coming. And 21 days after the release of Firebase Z, we get Outbreak. Yay! Outbreak! I'm not sure why I put that in my script, but it was there, so I had to say it. I'm not sure why I put it there, but just don't mind me. That was really cringy. Now, for the launch of Outbreak, we got 3 very large open world fire team maps to explore, kill zombies, and complete objectives for rewards. Now, Outbreak wasn't the only thing that we got for the beginning of Season 2. In fact, the zombies skill trees were increased to host 5 tiers. So once again, like the launch of the game itself, there was something to grind for in Cold War Zombies, and it was a lot of fun. Since Outbreak first release, we got a couple updates here and there for Outbreak, and that pretty much leads us up to where we are now. We are currently in the longest wait for a round-based zombies map in history. It has now been about 100 days since Firebase Z released, so the question is, why is Treyarch waiting so long to release the next round-based map? Well, it's simple. When Outbreak first released, the player count for zombies was actually higher at the launch of Outbreak than it was for the initial release of Cold War. Now, Outbreak was this never-before-seen zombies mode, experimental zombies mode, and it became way more successful than we all thought it would, and because of that, Treyarch has shifted their focus from round-based zombies to Outbreak. And because Outbreak is the most popular game mode that is bringing the most people in to play zombies, they're trying to milk Outbreak as much as they can and get the most out of it before, it starts to maybe fall off a little bit. Now, by milking Outbreak and trying to get more out of it, that continues actually next week, because next up in line for Outbreak is the Outbreak Easter Egg, which we've been waiting for a long time. We actually knew there was going to be an Outbreak Easter Egg when the Outbreak actually first released. Like, we got news that there will eventually be an Easter egg for Outbreak, and we're finally getting it next week. Now, my initial thought was that this Outbreak Easter egg was going to be super fun, and it was going to be a one-and-done thing for Outbreak, and once we completed the Easter egg, Outbreak would sort of fall back down the totem pole, right? And I figured that maybe, just maybe, that the focus would shift back to round-based zombies. That was my initial thought until Treyarch dropped an absolute bombshell in their latest blog post about zombies that says there's not only going to be one Outbreak Easter egg, but there's gonna be 2. Now, this is where I get a little bit scared, because if we're going to look back at some timelines, let's go back to when Outbreak originally released. It came out 21 days after Firebase Z released, and I was hoping that once the Outbreak Easter egg was completed, we would expect the new DLC round-based map maybe around 21 days after the Outbreak Easter egg released, like the timeline, what happened with Firebase. So I was hoping like maybe a couple weeks after the Easter egg, we would get the next map. But now there's going to be 2 Outbreak Easter eggs, one next week, and then the next one at the launch of Season 4, which now possibly pushes back the next round-based map to Season 4 Reloaded, which would be in mid-July. And if this does happen, we would see the gap increase to around 160 days without a round-based map. Now, I'm not trying to get off on the wrong foot here. I absolutely love playing Outbreak. It's not like I hate it or anything. And if there's anything, I think it's good that this year's zombie has a variety like Outbreak, because some days I just don't want to play Firebase Z or play Maschine. So if I don't want to play those maps, I could just hop into a game of Outbreak and have fun playing Outbreak. And even though a lot of us love playing Outbreak, the thing is that we've had to wait so long for an Easter egg. But the big kicker is that even though we've had to wait so long for the next Easter egg, if the 2 new Outbreak Easter eggs end up being really good and challenging and fun, then it will have been well worth the wait. Which is what we were all hoping for, because they have been working on this Easter egg for a while now. So there's no reason to why the Easter egg shouldn't flow like the other 2 Easter eggs we've gotten so far. So yeah, the first Outbreak Easter egg is releasing next week on Thursday, May the 20th, along with a bunch of other zombies related content, which they went into some detail in their blog post, and we're going to talk about that. So now let's go ahead and talk about what we are getting for this Season 3 Reloaded update. So the first thing that we are getting for this update, of course, is the new Outbreak main quest, and also we are getting a Orda encounter world event. They're finally putting the Orda boss in Outbreak, which I think that's going to be really cool. And then there's fishing. They're adding fishing into Outbreak. They're putting fishing in zombies before they're adding a new round-based map. Now, with all honesty, I think fishing would actually be a really cool addition if they do it well. You know, you could fish up loot from the water, you could fish up power-ups from the water, and you could probably fish up zombies from the water. And I think it's kind of an interesting little thing that that they're going to be adding. I think it could actually be kind of cool. Now, the next thing in this blog post is one of the most, for me at least, one of the most important things that we've been waiting for ever since the first DLC weapons came out in the game. We've always wanted DLC weapons to be added into zombies through the box, and they are finally adding DLC weapons to the mystery box and trial awards in both round-based maps and Outbreak, which is just amazing. I'm so glad that they are finally putting these weapons in zombies. The next thing, which is also great, is that they are finally adding the ability for you to ping the map on Outbreak like you can ping the map on Warzone. You couldn't ping the map before from like looking at the map. You could only ping, you know, through the game, and then you could see the ping on the map, but you could never ping the actual map. But now they're finally adding that, which is really great. The next great thing that they are doing is that they are retuning the weapons in zombies to actually be stronger now. They're actually buffing the weapon, all the weapons in zombies, which is great. Because there are a few weapons in zombies that do feel a bit underpowered, but now most of the weapons will be a little bit more powerful, which is really good. And as well as they are rebalancing zombie health at high rounds, and they're scaling the self-revive costs, which is definitely going to make high rounds a lot more challenging. And yeah, I mean, all around, this Season 3 Reloaded update looks really good, and I think it's going to be awesome. Zombies has been at a standstill for a couple of weeks, and this new update looks like it's gonna freshen up Cold War Zombies, and especially with Outbreak, because Outbreak, as of now, sort of lacks character, and it just feels a bit empty. And I think with this new Easter egg that they are adding, I think the mode will finally have the depth that it's needed since it came out. Now, once the 2 Outbreak Easter eggs are out of the way, we are going to be given the new Berlin Zombies map that we have been waiting for forever at this point. And because we've had to wait so long, it looks like there's only going to be room for one more round-based map, which we thought would be DLC 3, right? But it turns out that Treyarch in their blog post have treated Outbreak as DLC 2. This means that if Outbreak is DLC 2, then Berlin will be DLC 3, and the one more map that we have after Berlin will be DLC 4. Now, I don't think this is something to worry about, and honestly, my theory is that we could quite possibly see a third Outbreak Easter egg in between Berlin and DLC 4 to just give us, a little bit more before the first year of Cold War ends. And I say first year because Cold War Zombies has been so successful already that it rivals the likes of Black Ops 3 Zombies. And what did we get for the second year of Black Ops 3? That's right, we got Zombies Chronicles. So what I'm saying is that there is a very, very good possibility that Cold War Zombies gets a Year 2 or a Zombies Chronicles 2, depending on how successful the next Call of Duty is, Call of Duty World War II Vanguard. But now, apparently, this literally just came out. A new rumor just came out that says Treyarch is actually helping Sledgehammer in the development of the next Call of Duty's Zombies mode, which is just crazy. This is a super new and deep rumor that I could talk about for another 10 minutes, but this video, of course, is already getting a bit lengthy, so I will link my favorite Zombies news channel at the moment, Matters, in the cards in the top right, so go check out his video explaining this rumor, because he does a much better job of explaining things than I do. Just to sum it up real quick, there's no way Activision lets Sledgehammer develop an entirely new Zombies storyline because of how successful the Dark Ether storyline has been in Cold War Zombies. And what looks to be happening is Treyarch is integrating their storyline and their Zombies mode into the next COD. So what we will see is Sledgehammer doing the multiplayer and campaign, but Treyarch leading Zombies and the continuation of the Dark Ether storyline, which is just insane to think about. It's crazy what these rumors are saying. So yeah, I mean, crazy rumors floating around right now, but it's looking more and more like we are getting more Dark Ether round-based maps next year, so that is just super exciting. It's always exciting to look forward to what's ahead, and the future of Zombies as a whole is looking good at the moment. And I know people are worried about the lack of round-based content, but you gotta realize we still have 5 months left of content drops for Cold War, and who knows, maybe Treyarch will surprise us with more than we expected by the end of Cold War. So yeah, that's all I've got for today, and if you stuck around this long in the video, I love you. And thank you for watching. It took a while for me to put this video together because of the news. There was just always new rumors and new news that kept coming up. So there was that. It made the video really long. But yeah, remember to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. And if anything new and interesting comes out for Cold War Zombies, I will be there to spread the news. So until then, I will see you in the next video.